Hey, what's up guys? It's Farmer Jack, and today we're gonna talk about sugarcane. So sugarcane is amazing. It grows so well and it's delicious, but not a lot of people know about it. And it actually happens to be this massive industry in Florida. It's one of our main crops. It's actually one of our main crops around the world. We eat so much sugar. But the industry here, they honestly grow this with not the best practices. They dump all these fertilizers in it. It's technically a grass, which means it needs all this nitrogen, right? You have to feed your grass all these fertilizers. So they want quick, high yielding, sugarcane. So they dump all this nitrogen around the plants every year, and then it leaches into our water system, right in the Everglades, where it's like really delicate and all this stuff. So I want to teach you how to do that without tilling and tearing it up and doing what we've done to millions of acres of our land. So all we do is basically, look, here's some cuttings from before, but we'll take one of these nice stalks, right? This is how I get it from a friend. We'll cut it, I'll grab some loppers, and we'll take it, we'll put it on the ground, we'll cover it with some soil and some mulch, and it'll pop up through that, and at each one of these, at like these nodes. So just like bamboo, which is a grass too, just like so many of these amazing tropical plants, it's so easy to propagate and start at home. So this loves to grow in summertime, it loves the heat. It does not like the cold. So actually, Green Planet Farm, which is this awesome farm on the other coast of Florida, the Gulf Coast, they grow like 50 different types of sugarcane, different varieties, black ones, like all these really, really cool varieties. And he's trialing them out. We had a big cold this winter. It didn't really affect us in Jupiter, but he was kind of more in the middle of the state, froze all his sugarcane. That's his main crop, the things that us farmers go through. It's wild. So my buddy Noah actually went for like a week and was helping him all day, salvage as much as he could and sell and propagate what he could. But anyways, we're trying to grow different varieties out here so that we could, propagate them out through our community. So how I learned it, and maybe the pros know way better, but you want to start it kind of in winter time. Start the sugarcane plants kind of November to February, and then they should all be in kind of before summer, right? And then they take off in summertime. And at the end, you could machete or chop them all down, and then you have these big canes, they call them. And different ones are bigger than others, different ones are sweeter than others. And this is where all the food is. It's basically, you can make a juice out of it basically. And there's some other recipes, but it's like nature's gatorade, really. So you'll skin it, you'll cut it up and put them in like little wedges in the fridge, right? And get them cold. And then you chew on those. It's like really fibery, but it's delicious. Like people who grew up in the Caribbean and stuff grew up chewing on this, on their hikes as kids, because it just grows like a weed, literally. And it's delicious. It has tons of minerals. You could look it up, but it's really hydrating and good for you. It's amazing, like some of these plants that grow so well and they're everywhere, like coconuts and all this stuff, are so good for us, like in the climates where we need them most. So sugarcane's super easy to grow. I would definitely do it in the food forest, as you can see. So it has space to grow, it gets massive. And it doesn't need a lot of attention, so I wouldn't put it in a raised bed, because it doesn't need all those good nutrients and watering every day and stuff. This will thrive on neglect. So anyways, I'm gonna cut one of these canes and I'll show you we'll make a row of it in our front yard farm. Let's do it. Imagine when we get, so cool, this is our front yard little farm. We started it last spring. I planted some yuccas. We've been eating some of these, pigeon peas. We did jicama, and then there's some herbs scattered in there. And then turmeric, you see they're all sprouting, which is like a second year out. Those are gonna be big. So my goal this spring is to kind of fill in these gaps, these rows, and then re-mulch for season, because there's a couple of these rows that we need to plant. One of them is about to be sugarcane. Cool, so these are how I do our veggies, usually 30-inch rows. But some people do wider rows for these agroforestry type crops. I'm just gonna rip the sugarcane this summer right in this row. As you could see, I did one last week. I started at least, That's a cane I got from my friend Charity, who I bought some trees from. But she told me her family brought that back from Cuba in the 1700s. So they've been growing that variety. It's like this crazy old heirloom variety that literally will thrive without anything, you know, grown when we didn't have these fertilizers. So I just think that's amazing. Her family's been doing that for 300 years. Like, you can't even meet someone who's been in Florida that long. And they like have been growing here for that long. So incredible. But I'm gonna and I'll be able to see the difference in variety. So I'm just gonna plant this one right next to it. And literally I'll just put it in like this. I think other people get really, other people might do it differently, but this is how I do it. I'll just lay it down where I want it and it'll just sprout. So I'm gonna cover this up with compost and mulch, and a couple weeks we'll see this thing sprout. You could either eat your plants or you could grow more of them. And right now we're gonna grow more of it. Yeah, propagation's so easy, it's crazy, right? Just gotta make sure it rains on these and they'll sprout. And good soil doesn't hurt. Anyways, that's sugar cane. It's as easy as that. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. But I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm gonna try to teach you how to grow all of these.